Hello everyone, Kamanamis here, and today we're going to continue with Sheldon Hess' Zomboid playthrough. Now there have been quite a few updates since the last time I played, and you will notice some corruption with the world save. As this is the unstable branch, corruption like this is guaranteed. First thing I do is just walk around my base. I haven't played this game in quite a while. The last time I recorded it was the last time I played it. So I forgot what my plans or directives were. Now I remember water has been switched off and I don't have any rain collectors to catch any water. And since it was raining, I decided to get the ingredients together to make some rain collectors. I start by disassembling my base to gather some nails. Another thing I notice is Life and Living is no longer being broadcasted on the TV channels, so I am now cut off from gaining skill points this way. Now I didn't recognize this at first, but the interior of this medical building has been reset to its former self, so a lot of items have been duplicated. I have enough materials to build one top rain collector. It's a start, I guess. After a job well done, I'm having some chicken nuggets and a cigarette. One of the items that have been duplicated in the medical building is the water dispenser, so I go ahead and move that to my base. I use my car to head to this barricaded house. I use my crowbar to pry off some barricades so that I can later use them on my base. Fighting this zomboid, I realize their movements and animations are different. They fall to the ground more elegantly than before. I'm unsure if this is considered a strategic advantage on my part. After this, I decided to get a bit drowsy, so I head inside and go to bed. I start my morning with a nutritious cigarette. As Solid Snake once said, "You know a lot about science, but you don't know how good a cigarette tastes in the morning." It did stop raining, which is a shame, as my rain collector did not collect as much water as I wanted it to. I decide to head in my car and take a drive until I discover this barricaded house with some chickens. A handful of zomboids decide to rally on my location, so I decide to stand my ground and fight them. I'm using the fence to my advantage here, waiting for them to vault the fence and then stomping on them when they are on the floor. I'm collecting as many garbage bags as I can find so I can make more rain collectors. This house also has a barbecue. A barbecue, similarly to an antique oven, can be used to cook items with flammable materials after the power has been shut off. I will be using this to cook food and purify rainwater. I store the barbecue in one of the seats of my car. Nothing much inside the barricaded building. It seemed like it was some sort of laboratory, with these drawings on the whiteboard and some lab equipment. It did have a box of garbage bags, which was very helpful. I deposit everything in my car and then I head off. I intended to enter this elementary school until I came across this horde of Minecraft YouTubers. I drive down and head into this general produce store. Again, power is still on, so I decide to eat and loot as much safe food as I can.
Ain't this just a son of a bitch?
Inside the storage room was a box of canned tomatoes. Must be a new Build 42 item. I'm loaded with food at the moment. I get in my car and drive away. I wanted to go into this bookstore until I came across this massive horde.
Oh, hell no!
I stopped to transfer the items in my car, hoping I could loot this VHS store, but the horde arrived, so I just left. I went to this intersection, too fast, intending to put a new window on my car. Not having a window, especially on the driver's side, is a massive risk, as zomboids can bite and scratch me through the window. I find my way through this group, and my long blunt skill goes out. I realise that I can't remove windows from these cars because I haven't read the Basic Mechanics magazine. So I get in my car and leave the area. I went back hoping to put some fuel in my car, but there were too many zomboids. Now, I intended to sound my horn, hoping to herd them away, but my dumbass forgot the keybind, and I got out instead. I'm trying to guide them away from my car so I can get in and drive away. My character is stressing right now. I find an opening, I brake for it, and manage to drive away without a scratch. Here I kinda experiment with Zomboid's new ragdoll mechanic. One of the Zomboids here has a backpack, so I can finally stop using my sling bag. Remember in the second episode I put a generator in the medical building? And now that the game has had some updates, I discover that the generator I got just vanished. I head back to where it was originally found and it's not there. So I need to find another generator. I transfer everything I found in my base and put the barbecue out front. I read a bit of carpentry too, eat some more chicken nuggets and then head to bed. I wake up at 6 AM hearing groaning noises. I look around and the house is safe, so the zombies must be further away than I thought. I dismantle some electrical devices, as electrical one is all I need to hotwire vehicles. Once I can hotwire a vehicle, I can start using my truck. I use this time to grind mechanics on my truck. I did read an intermediate mechanics magazine, so I can do work on heavy duty vehicles. It's very important to grind mechanics in a safe environment, as mechanics strains your body quite a bit, and you don't want to deal with zomboids when you're over encumbered, max muscle strain and body in agony. After I work on my truck, I get in my car and drive around, trying to look for another heavy duty vehicle, when I come across this generator in this industrial workshop. There were too many zomboids there at that time, so I mark it on my map and decide to get it later. I drive to the scrapyard, hoping to continue some mechanics grinding, when I realise I have max muscle strain and I'm in heavy pain. So clearing these zomboids was quite difficult. I realise my mistake as I try to climb the fence to get out, when I can't, no matter how many times I do it. This is because of my overexertion and muscle pain. I was at max exertion trying to do this. I'm getting chased by zomboids while I'm not in the right state to fight them. I put the heavy stuff in my backpack, lay down and rest for a bit. I decide the only way to get back to my car is through the main entrance. So I decide to walk out calmly as you outpace the zomboids by walking. I get to my car and drive off. I guess I should have taken my own advice to only grind mechanics when it's safe to do so. It's very important to grind mechanics in a safe environment. I accidentally run over a chicken. I head back to base when I drive past the truck I was working on during the second episode, so I decide to grind mechanics on that. Before that, I must conduct vehicular manslaughter.
People, hurry! Get in the way! I'm committing vehicular manburger helper.
I was getting hungry, so I hopped in my car and got back to base. I ate some tater tots, smashed this guy's head in, and then went to bed. I wake up to a guy banging on my barbecue. I guess he was hungry. I decide to get in my car and finish working on the van from yesterday. I was tapping shift so many times, sticky keys prompt came up. I head in my car, head back to base, and ate a hot dog for breakfast. I was smashing up some zomboids with my crowbar bro. I finished the rest of them off with my meat cleaver, but I can't really go out without my long blunt weapon. I start searching, but I don't have a replacement. I was searching in the weapons tab when I discovered I could make a can reinforced weapon, so I made one for myself. Sure, it isn't a crowbar, but it's better than nothing. I get in my car and head north to find a heavy-duty vehicle to continue grinding mechanics. I find this van and decide I could tow it to a safer location with my car, but my car simply wasn't strong enough to move it. I tried to quickly get out of my car to untow it, but the amount of zomboids that gathered made that impossible. I, idiotically, left the key in the ignition, which got the attention of more zomboids, until I could not get my car anymore. I tried to herd them, loop around this building, but to no avail. I decided in that moment, the safest thing I could do was abandon my car and get back to base on foot. I retreated to a nearby house when I find Electrical 1, Mechanics 3 and Nature Survival tape. With Electrical Book 1, getting skills in electrical will be significantly easier. I'm finally getting close to start hot wiring cars. I rest in this house for a bit and leave when I'm fully recovered. In this garage, I find a box of nails. I can start crafting more carpentry related items without needing to tear my entire house down. While checking this car out, a huge group of zomboids chase after me. I start getting greedy and try to pick off more than I can chew, when I drop my improvised tin can bat. Due to growing number of zomboids, I couldn't pick it back up, and therefore I had to abandon it. I don't want to risk my life for a weapon. I head back to base, watch this Nature Survival tape and read Electrical 1. After dealing with this invisible zomboid banging on my door, I head to bed. I wake up at 10 AM to eat some pretzels and a chicken leg for breakfast. After losing my car, I don't currently have a working mode of transportation, so I decide to dismantle as much electrical equipment around my base as I can so I can start hot wiring vehicles, without relying on a key. I also spend time gathering all the garbage bags at my base and set them outside so I can build more rain collectors. Thanks to the box of nails I found yesterday, I can start making those rain collectors immediately. I make 2 rain collectors and then run out of wood. I start gathering wood from broken furniture in the medical building, and then I decide to barricade this window, as I believe this is where all the zomboids keep coming from. I start looting the nearby houses for some wood. I managed to make 2 more rain collectors. That should be enough to support me for now. I spend the rest of the evening dismantling electrical equipment until I'm level 1 in electrics. It also decided to rain whilst I was grinding electronics. Glad I got those rain collectors up when I did. I head back to base and then I head to bed. Now with 1 skill in electronics, I can finally hot wire cars. This means I can use my truck that has been waiting outside my base since forever. As a build 42, when you remove tires from a car, the pressure of the tire will be set to 0. This means the tire will just fall off. So I found my tire pump and pumped all the tires to maximum pressure, which did take quite a while. Now that the tire pressure is golden, I can finally start to drive my truck around. I didn't want this car to suffer one of the major problems with my old car, the fact that it was missing a window. So I drove to that one truck nearby, took one of its windows and put it on my truck. Now my car is in well enough condition, I decide to drive back to that industrial workshop that contained a generator. I realise I don't have a long blunt weapon anymore, so I head back to base, make myself another makeshift tin can bat, and then I headed back to the workshop. This workshop did give me quite some trouble when I was looting, quite a few close calls here. I managed to kill as many zomboids as I felt I could, and quickly looted all helpful items in the area. I put on this helmet I found in one of the corpses, make multiple trips going back and forth in my truck, leaving the generator to last. I managed to fit it all in my truck. It was starting to get dark, so I headed back to base, unloaded all the items I found on my run, had a snack, and then I head to bed. That is it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked this video, consider subscribing, leave a like, or comment down below. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.